Hey, this is Full Game Prometheus, the only YouTuber out there that posts full games against live opponents with all of my tips, strategies, and schemes that I post on my channel. You get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. So you get to see how my opponents adjust to it, and I don't cherry pick my games either. The next playbook next formation we're gonna take a look at of the Atlanta playbook is going to be the I form close. This is similar to the strong close, which is a phenomenal formation, but this is going to be out of the I form, so you just get a little bit different types of routes that you actually use in the passing game. Also, you get some fairly good runs. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the audibles and just go from there. Now, the audibles that come with the standard mesh, which is a great play to actually have in your playbook. You can attack your opponent off the right-hand side, and then it has a nice complement with the flanker drive off the other side. And then another complement here is the inside zone weak, which is a good inside run. And then we have the play action waggle, which you actually can hit your opponent with some fairly big yards over the top. As far as the other plays in this formation, I don't really like anything outside of the play action boot. I like that because it's got a little money route that actually can't be stopped. And also it comes with outside runs, which is a nice complement to the inside runs. I've got a sweep play where I've got a pulling guard and a stretch play, so I know I've got a eventual double team where I can go ahead and run up the gap. So let's go ahead and take a look at the running game, and then we'll go from there. We'll show you some of the passing. So you have basically three plays that you can select from the running game, either zone weak, the halfback stretch, and the halfback sweep. You obviously don't want to use zone weak because that's part of your audibles, but you have the sweep and then you have the stretch. So let's go ahead and jump into sweep right away. And it's all you're really going to do with the sweep is just take a look and see where the numbers are at. And the defender keeps coming down. So let's see if we can go ahead and get this out. But if you get some pretty good blocking to the outside, I deliberately went ahead and put a very, very slow halfback. Actually, he's a tight end. Into position, primarily because I want to get used to not having a very fast running back for my game. So if I have a 92 or 94 speed type running back, I'll be able to go ahead and get to the outside. And look at the blocking in the outside. I've got this guy's 81 speed as far as the tight end is concerned. I'm still able to go ahead and pick up some pretty good yards. Now, what's good complement is you got an inside run. If your opponent starts spreading his line, goes in a wide 9 set, you can go ahead and hit him just right up into the guards. And let's see if we can get a nice gap right here. So as you can see, he's got stacked on the left-hand side. I go with the zone weak, and I'm actually picking up some fairly easy yards right there. So once again, if he's going to give me the gap, he doesn't overload. I'm going to go ahead and just take the blocking and pick up the easy yards. This is a butt slow tight end I got at the running back position. All right, so another play would be the stretch. The only difference is you're not really going to be going completely outside. You can actually look for the end of line defender and see what happens with the blocker. So as you can see right here, actually, this stretches me out a little bit further because the actual my tight end Tammy actually gets inside position right there. I went ahead inside Tammy because of the way. Now, what's great about this particular formation, it does come with a set audible, which is mesh. And one of the easiest things you can do with mesh is actually turn it into a sail concept. Very simple. You've got a high-low. You've got a guy crossing over the middle. Take a look at the flat if it's available to you. If not, you can go ahead and just flip it down to the middle and actually go from there. So let me just show you an instant replay, my reads. The tight end is actually just clearing the area out. He's just to clear out. No defender actually follows the wide receiver number 1 right here, so I could actually hit him in a deep corner, but I also have the check down right here with my running back, and I got a cross over the middle too. So really it's just I could have hit all 3 levels, but the most consistent route you're going to have is going to be this crossing route in zone situations unless all the defenders are playing down. So very easy one adjustment right here. And if nobody goes out in the flat, I'll go ahead and take the flat route and make my opponent go ahead and defend against it. Once again, I'm going to streak up my tight end. And I've got the deep corner route, which that looks like it was a cover 3 blitz, but that was wide open. All I'm going to do is focus my reads to the right side. and I'm going to go ahead and take what my opponent gives to me, either checking down to the flat. I've got the deep corner route, and sometimes I can occasionally hit that tight end in the seam if no defenders actually follow him. But you want to go ahead and take those easy yards when they come to you. Now this comes with flanker drive on the backhand side, and basically what you can do is you can do pretty much the same type of look. The only thing I like to do is I want to go ahead and put another receiver on the back side. So this is going to be essentially the same kind of a look, except you've got basically all the same type of stuff. Another thing you can do too for you is just go ahead and hot route your wide receiver number 2 on the deep corner. And you're going to be really looking at the same progressions. Take the flat. If the flat is given to you, just go ahead and take it if it's given. I'm going to go ahead and flat route my fullback, and then I'm going to go ahead and smart route my wide receiver number 1. And I've got a nice little crossing route right there with my wide receiver 1. So this is a levels concept. And if my opponent starts cheating, I've got this deep in route over the middle that I can actually hit for some fairly easy yards. And obviously I've got the corner that I've got to wait for them to develop. But you know, you're under center. This is a particular play that your opponent's going to be trying to hit you with gaps and some type of pressure. So I just recommend going ahead and hit the different levels on each side of the field. Force your opponent to go ahead and jump into a cover 2, where you're going to go ahead and tack them down the seams. Now last audible we're going to take a look at is going to be play action waggle. So with play action waggle, what you can do is you can go ahead and streak up your tight end, and I like to go ahead and get rid of that play art. I'm gonna take my line. I'm gonna block off the left or off the right hand side because I've got 2 running backs blocking onto the left side. And really it's still pretty much the same concept, but this route just gets a little bit different depth. I also have got the corner route that if I wanted to, I can go ahead and change that up. Another thing you can do too with the play action waggle is if you want to get a little bit creative, you can go ahead and take this tight end and actually move him over, putting him in a streak route, and that actually just gives your opponent just another funny look for him to worry about, and then you've got essentially a slant streak kind of concept. That's not going to be a play I'm going to jump into much. I'm showing it to you, but I probably will not use this in a scheme because I can be very effective with mesh and with flanker drive with this particular scheme, but this is going to be more of a running scheme than anything else. The final play we're going to take a look at is going to be the play action boot, and the reason why is that play action boot actually has a unique route by the tight end. Now one of the things that when I do lab particular plays, I try to look for routes that I can motion and they stay set, giving my opponent something a little bit different look. Now if you could take a look here, this tight end actually goes out in an angle then gets completely flat. So I know from a man standpoint he's a big man beater. Now I don't want to get tied up into the route development of this particular play or actually the play action. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and put my running back into a block, and really what I watch is that outside linebacker or that tight end right there. You can see he actually just gets to an area of field that's very unique. Now I can flip this play. That's what's good about this particular formation, and I can go ahead and just take that tight end once again and put him on a motion over, and all I'm going to do is just go ahead and attack him. And against man coverage, he generally will get wide open. If not, I can go ahead and check it up to the next level. So just go ahead and motion this guy over. This is definitely a play you want to be prepared for. You don't want to rush into it, but it is a levels concept. And you've also got this trailing wide receiver, especially if you start hitting that tight end in the corner, you can pop your opponent right over the top too. So that's what I do like about this particular play. It's a little bit unique. It's a levels concept. It attacks at all different levels. You've got a flat if you really wanted to, especially if the defender actually falls out there, and you've also got a deep corner route too you can really catch your opponent off on. So really cool play. So I'm going to jump into a couple more playbooks, the gun split close, which is a tournament scheme, and then I'm going to do the gun bunch wide. And you haven't seen already, take a look at the single back deuce close. This is actually kind of a neat formation, but the I form close is going to be pretty much a formation I'm going to use to try to go ahead and establish a run against my opponent, and then jump into a couple of the audibles to keep them guessing. So to my subscribers, I really appreciate the support. I hope you guys pick up on this. Make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I'll be rolling out full games where you can see me trying to utilize these schemes against the live opponents, and you can see how successful they are, what plays work the best, what plays don't work the best, whether I get frustrated or whether I have great success with them. So thanks a lot for your support, and until next time.